why don't you have women on your board? They would be like, where do we get the women? And there would be
where are the women?
Where are the women? I'm like, I'm here. So that's the third category. The other category of women on boards are, members who have served on boards and retired, but they want to mentor other women.
Welcome back. My name is Mary Wamae, and this is the Executive Table. We continue with a very, very interesting and exciting conversation with Catherine Musakali. Welcome back, Catherine.
Thank you very much, Mary.
So now we are talking about the Women on Boards Network and why you started that. Just tell us why you found it necessary.
So out of all of those codes of corporate governance that we developed, one of the clauses that we would always put in that code is that boards must be diverse. That boards must have a diversity and skills matrix and include women, so on and so forth. But boards were actually not diverse. They were predominantly male. So anytime you'd ask anybody, why don't you have women on your board? They would be like, where do we get the women? And there would be
where are the
women? I'm like, I'm here. By the way.
And there are many others out there.
There are many other. Do you know my first ever board? Let me just digress a little bit. My first board in life was, other than AKI, Association of Kenya Insurers, a first real board in life for the Nairobi Securities Exchange.
Wow, that's a big one.
My first board. And I was still working for Shell then. That time. And initially, I was also the only woman on that board, and then another lady joined me. And by the way, the person who invited me to that board, again, was my former line manager, George Minor. Networks.
Yes.
But not just networks, but also, what profile are you
demonstrated
demonstrating?
Capability.
So that when an opportunity arises, somebody says, there's this person.
I know so and so. They are here, they do a good job.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I go back to the codes and, people saying, where do we find the women? And even that woman we have on our board does not speak. Why do you want us to have another woman? So I convince 3 other friends, Nkirote Moria, Calvin Nyachoti, the only male founder of the Women on Boards Network, and Rose Lumumba. And I say, can we not found an organization that will champion gender diversity on boards? And they say, yes. I have just started my own consultancy. I have a little office somewhere near Braeside School. And I'm like, why don't we do it? So we put together, each of us contributed 80,000 Kenya shillings. It was a lot of money.
That's a lot of money that time.
So we set up Women on Boards Network as a company limited by guarantee because it is for a social good.
Yes.
And so the idea was to bring together women who are sitting on boards so that we continue, sharing experiences, ideas, etc. But at the same time, for them to also mentor the younger ones, something that you have done for us very well, Mary, and thank you.
I'm one of the mentors.
Thank you very much, absolutely.
You're most welcome.
So we have the second category of members who are not yet sitting on boards, but whose next natural step is a board position. Now, those ones need hand-holding, they need capacity building, they need to be pointed in the right direction. They need somebody to say, as you have done severally, Mary, there's a board position here, and this person is capable of sitting
building their confidence.
Yes, and thank you for doing that for us. The third category is junior members. Junior members, the reason why we started junior membership, which started just the other day, and junior members is made up of both boys and girls. From around the age of 12 to around round about when they get their first job after campus. Now, the junior wing started because my daughter, we have annual conferences. And my daughter, that friend of mine.
Yes,
you remember
I know her.
the one who looked at me and said,
Yeah.
the other way.
Yes.
So she would follow me around, and I think that's how we developed that bond. So we would go for women on boards programs, and she's following me around. She was about 12, by the way. She'll follow me around. And now, the discussions we are having may not even be making sense. So she would end up just perhaps sitting with the secretariat, distributing, you know, the material for the conference, etc. I'm like, but why don't we do something for her as well? So that's how come we founded the junior wing. Yes.
League, yeah.
So, but at that stage, it's both boys and girls.
Yes.
Because we want boards to be diverse. So we should also prepare the boys
and
as well.
sensitize the boys on
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So here we are just building their capacity in leadership and interesting them in board leadership later. So that's the third category. The other category of women on boards are, you know, members who have served on boards and retired, but they want to mentor other women.
Yes, and I know you have many of them.
Oh, we have many of them.
Yeah,
and Mary, you have been an asset to Women on Boards. I can't thank you enough. How many people have you mentored out of Women on Boards network?
About 20 now.
Oh,
and most of them have been placed somewhere.
Absolutely.
If I may just...
I know. Thank you.
Thank you.
We
but
don't
thanks for
take
the
it for
opportunity.
granted,
I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
But now, as we are talking about women on boards, there's a very important aspect that I want us to discuss, which is the male allyship. Because I know you are also a true believer. I mean, even looking at the founder members, you have a male founder. I know you have a lot of, even when I do the mentorship, I know you have male mentors to the women. And I also know that at the awards, the annual awards, you also have an award for the male champion of the year. Just tell us about that and why you think that allyship is really important.
So first and foremost, I truly believe in diversity. Truly believe in diversity. And that's the reason why when we were founding Women on Boards, Calvin was, I mean, I could have easily said to Rosa and Kirote, let's set up
it's okay, we are okay.
You know? But unless you have somebody else who potentially thinks differently and tells you things from a different perspective, you really cannot go far.
You have one side of the
You have
situation.
the danger of a single story, Chimamanda.
Yes.
Now, when I was growing up, remember I told you I had mentors. All my mentors have been male, surprisingly.
Wow.
They have been male. And there is something about the way they think and the way they act that women would also benefit from.
Yes.
And that is the reason why diversity is so important. If you look at the board of Women on Boards now, because we have a formal board, we have 2 male.
Yes, I know the Reverend Jenga, yes.
And Calvin.
And Calvin.
So it was driven from that perspective. We also have brand ambassadors who are male. So we have Julius Kipngetich, who's male. We have John Gumi,
who is also a mentor.
Who is also a mentor. And also Patrick Obath, who are mentors. So we have really benefited from this gentleman who genuinely support the cause of women, who actually, in fact, sometimes speak the cause of women even more than the women themselves.
I know.
So that's the reason why we really support them and recognize them. Mike Eldon is another one who really...
Yes, I've seen him in the events.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the male perspective, even as we discuss the diversity issues and all that, it is very important to bring that other perspective. And see what are the men thinking about it. But also remembering that a lot of the decision-making structures right now are it's male dominated.
Absolutely.
So you need them to be converted
Yes.
onto the agenda,
Yes,
right?
and to support it.
And to support it, to
And-
understand
yes.
and to support.
To understand and to support. And the other diversity that we're now looking at seriously on boards is
Yes.
age diversity.
Yeah, and age, yeah.
And age diversity.
Yes.
So that's where now the junior wing also comes in.
So they're also included.
Yes, they are also
as
included.
they grow in
Absolutely.
stature and intelligence. Wow, that's amazing. So what would you say have been the gains for women on board so far since you founded it?
Yeah.
Because it looks like it's really had its impact, but tell us about it, the impact.